When it comes to EVE Online, every player wants to know the most effective tactic available. You want to know the meta. The meta controls everything. It determines what will and will not happen. Knowing the meta will alter your views, make you question your reality. It might even make you laugh. And now, you're part of it. You're watching The Meta Show.
All right, guys, we gotta fix sound. Is it working now? Okay, it's working now. All right, fantastic. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Meta Show. The first thing I gotta ask you guys is, how about those freaking capsular MREs? Am I right? Is there an echo now too? Damn, I'm learning from Brisc, man. Can't even get my opening liner. Is it fine? It's good now? Alright, it should be good now. Alright, well, welcome everybody to the Meta Show. Sound designers, we need to work on that. My autofocus always freaks on my cam. Deal with it. So yes, the Meta Show is here, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a very interesting topic to bring you. One of the first things that we need to bring you is Pandemic Horde has officially learned their lesson and have announced that they will be disbanding. It is a fantastic day for every nullsec alliance in the universe. Can we get a sleeping Mifune stream? No. So Pandemic Horde is disbanding their alliance. Like, honestly, it is insane. It is a rash move by Gobbins, and I hear that he is folding into Test. It's insane. So there's that, and then there's the fact that people in Gita 4.4 cannot give me any other flavors of Quaif. I can't find any more flavors other than Quaif Classic and Quaif Apple, and I'm really starting to get sick of Quaif Apple. Like, honestly. Does anybody else feel that? Anybody else here not like Quaif? Seriously? Quaif Orange, am I right? Like, we need other Quaif flavors. So there's that going on. We got a couple of other things. We got Keep Stars dying. We have new PCs building like my Titan. Swear to God, price will never change. Can you get Brisc back? Nah, man, Brisc is gone. That man's gone. He left. He left. He moved to the Bahamas, quit his job. He's gone. So is Mark too. Mark unfortunately biomassed all of his characters and is now playing Rust of all things. X47 is on Tuesday? That's such a crap time. I didn't even know that. Brisc did not join PanFam. I can confirm, but he is gone. He is forever gone. So welcome to the Meta Show. I don't have too many guests on today, so it is going to be a pretty much solo experience for all of you. Can you get Frank? Oh, I'm sorry. I have no idea where Frank is. Frank is missing. Where's my ASCII swag? My ASCII swag is sitting on the desk that is covered by my face. No, this isn't an April Fool's joke, Vengeance. This is permanent. This is it. This is the Meta Show now. I hope you have fun with it. It's gonna be great. But we're still looking for another co-host. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Dawn. Maybe it'll be headliner. God, it could even be missed if he could learn to FC correctly. Sonrir co-hosting. Teodorin, like, see, we're looking at some pretty solid co-hosts here. It's gonna be great. Just get Frank. I don't know where Frank is, man. He's gone. He on an alleged murder case. Like, he's disappeared, man. Hype train. Thank you for the level 2 hype train, people. Havish, do you know how many times I've tried to bring Havish on a Twitch show? And do you have any idea how many times he did not? Great. Villy, God, what is wrong with you people? There's something wrong with you if you want Villy to be co-host of the Meta Show. Is this a missing episode from that 70s? No, this is a missing episode from F is for Family, sir. Yeah, Frank's got some war crime charges and he's hiding. PGL hosting a comedy show. Great giggles with piggles. That... Okay, I'll give you credit there. I'll give you credit. Credit where credit's due. That's a good one. Alright, so I guess I'll move on to our first topic of discussion. X-47! And how bullshit Paladins are. Paladins are fucking horrible ships. They need to be nerfed. They're goddamn horrible. This meta show is worse than the Star Wars... How could you say that, Zungan? The holiday special was amazing. What? Who's that? Who's the disembodied voice?
This was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry, everybody. We promise we're not going to do this to you again. It was only supposed to be a joke, but oh my God, that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So, all right, my phone. Thanks. Get out. Bye. Go away. All right. Hi, everybody. Hi. Listen, I tried to sell it for as long as I could, okay? I tried to sell it for as long as I could, but I mean, holy shit. Wow. Mark, you're muted, and I didn't do it. I promise. Mark, you're muted. I didn't do it. That's what I'm worried about.
Can hear me is what you're worried about.
Well, I can hear you now, but I had to mute. I had to go in here and fix something else. I don't know what the hell is going on with this. This is annoying. Now talk.
Do you have the stream? Do you have the stream muted?
Okay. Now talk.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You can.
We can all hear each other.
Can we hear each other?
This is what's fucked up. Like,
it's a pretty good show.
All right.
So far.
We're going to get there. We're going to get to the point when there is a stream that I do that does not have audio problems, but
impossible.
This is not that show.
Oh, they're saying my volume's low now.
Your volume's low now?
That's 100% your fault. It has
to be. It's everything is my fault, so that's perfectly fine. I mean, I totally accept this on our side, but you know, I want to tell you guys a story. So one of the things that happened this week.
I did mute it.
You're not muted now. You can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
one of the things that happened this week that is driving me absolutely crazy is the fact that the volume is low. I know. I'm trying to turn it up. Let me see if I can turn it up. Maybe we can get it a little higher. Maybe we can get a little higher. But
I fixed it.
Did I fix it? Is it now less low?
No,
less high?
I fixed it.
You fixed it. Oh,
There we
you
go.
turned yours up. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm doing something with it, so.
Oh, that's
you're
good.
You're good.
Listen, the bottom line is, yes, I do need a better robe. I think it just arrived outside. As always, like whenever I order something on a Thursday for the Meta Show, it arrives at 4:15. You know, it just is a thing. The problem that I'm having is my computer is starting to die. And I mean, that you guys might have figured that out, you know, like given the fact that we've had all these audio problems and all kinds of other shit. Mark is joining the initiative. All these other crazy things are happening. These are all signs of my computer
We're
dying.
living in a simulation. Oh wait, no, your computer's dying. Yes,
That's,
go
that's exactly what it is. So
That's right.
I'm gonna have to. I had to order a new computer, and now granted, it's gonna take like a fucking month before it gets here, but it will be here eventually, and then that will be good. But until then, it's not great, and I'm just having to deal with the bullshit and hope that we can make everything last for at least another month until things shit to bed. So that's what we're doing. Show the specs. Okay, I will. Let me pull up exactly what I ordered because I don't remember off the top of my head everything. All right, where is it? Here it is. So, all right, so I ordered all right, so first of all, we will give a plug to my favorite people, digitalstorm.com, my favorite computer building website. I have been a faithful Digital Storm customer since 2011. I have bought 5 computers from them over that time period. 3 were gaming rigs for myself, and 2 were one for Mrs. Brisc and one for Brisc Jr. So what I ordered this time, I ordered the new AMD Ryzen 7950X 3D chip.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got a Asus X67OE gaming motherboard, 64 gig of RAM, 3 of the Samsung 980 Pro SSDs. Hopefully these are not the ones that get bricked by the software. I hope they will fix that before they ship them to me. And a 4090 graphics card, which I'm hoping will be able to run all 4 of my screens, which is not something that my 3090 can do, which is why my computer now has 2 video cards in it so that I can play games and then also run the stream and do the things that I need to do. So that's what's going to happen. Are we going to talk spaceships? Yes, we're going to talk spaceships. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We have tons of things, and not all of them are jokes. Some of them are jokes. Not all of them are jokes. None of the stuff that I have is going in the trash. Do not worry. I'm not throwing anything away. I am simply going to find a new home for all of this stuff. So, Eve talk. Mark.
Yeah, Eve.
Anything happening in wormholes? We had stuff happening today.
Is anything happening in wormhole space? I've got a town hall tomorrow. That's pretty exciting. That's a big deal. So tell us, everybody, about this town hall. I have jumped the gun a little bit. I didn't mean to, but I did do that. Hang on, let me get you something here real quick so you can. This is gonna be relevant here in just one. Right,
I will link. This is very long, but this is the.
Here you go.
I hit the character limit.
That is the link. So yeah, hello friends. It's me, Mirror Universe, Mark Resurrectus in a suit. I don't know if you know this. I'm a member of the CSM.
I had no idea. We don't talk about that every week.
I know. It's insane. It's insane. We don't talk about it often for good reason. I am, however, unfortunately, a member of the CSM and a wormholer, by the way. So a lot going on there. I did this once back in, I want to say like October, maybe, or like maybe it was July. I don't know. I don't remember exactly when we did it last, but I'm going to do another town hall. So I'm gonna take these sunglasses off. These are cool, but it's not nearly bright enough for these. So anyway, we're having another town hall. We're gonna do it tomorrow. It's gonna be 1 a.m. Eastern, which is 1700 Eve time. If we're gonna, have a little sit down and chat. I'm gonna talk very briefly about the summit, about some stuff that I'm, working on and trying to get pushed through, and kind of where we're at as a community, we wormholers, by the way. So, but it's public. Anybody's allowed to come. Anybody's welcome to come. You don't have to be a wormholer to be there. I'm inviting some other CSM. Hopefully that some others will come as well. We'll see who shows up. Maybe some CCP will be there too. Hard to say.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I know, very exciting. But it is. It's going to be hosted on my Alliance's Discord. My Alliance's turbofeedorglory.com or turbofeedorglory.com.
That's a great name for a guild.
It's a great name
space
for an alliance.
guild.
Temporarily, of course, obviously, I am joining the initiative. We'll get to that later. But Turbofeeder Glory. The Discord link is discord.gg/turbofeedorglory. I'm sure I sent that one to Brisc. You guys can be. Oh, I need to be 2 times louder. Okay, so listen up. You gotta go to the link.
Like you are. I don't know how I don't know how to set this any louder in OBS. You are at the maximum, and
all right. I mean, I can just turn myself up too. Watch this. Beep, 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 beep.
Maybe I can. Let me try if I can add a.
Can you hear me now?
There, I just jumped up the whole stream audio.
That's true. There we go.
That might have done it. We'll see.
Yes, there's the link.
All right, there you go. Fine.
Beautiful.
You fucking people.
We did
always complaining about my audio. The worst ever.
Yeah, I'm muted now. That's hilarious.
Now I'm too loud. You sons of bitches.
So, yes, that's the link. Discord.gg/turbofeederglory. Again, tomorrow, 1700 Eve time. I don't know. I think there might be something else going on one of the Eve streams, the CCP streams tomorrow, but I had to find a time, and I didn't want to do it next weekend because of Easter and people got obligations and stuff. So, yes, come on. It's going to be about 10 minutes of me talking, and then another however many hours of people. You can either ask questions, you can just come up and tell me how you feel about something, and we'll go from there. So, we paid up on Discord so we can fit all those people into one room. Hopefully we can fit everybody in that we need to. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys can make it. If you have any questions, you can go to that Discord and ping me. I guess please don't ping me, but if you have questions, you can. Yeah, we'll be good to go. It's gonna be a lot of. I don't know if it'll be fun. I don't know if I would say that's the smartest way to spend your afternoon if you have other plans, but it's how I'm going to spend my afternoon because
there you go.
I got an obligation to the constituency. So anyway, there you go. That's what I got going on. And in wormhole space, I don't know, man, not too much going on right now. I can't put my arm up. It'll go into the Mirror Universe poster I have back here.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. So other than that, I think that's it for me. Nothing new. I mean, there's just there's back and forth. People are brooding. There's a lot of discussion. The other day, I created a wormhole alliance tier list generator.
Oh no!
And a couple people lost.
Sure, that was drama.
Minds. A big drama. Even more drama right now is that Brisc Rubal is hanging out in the Praise Bob Discord, which is kind of nuts.
I'm back, everybody. I'm back.
I was going to say, they thought they ran you out, and yet here you are sitting on top of the user list. So that may or may not be also me. Hard to say. But there's nothing in the rule book that says that a CSM can't impersonate other CSM. Or, sorry, I mean, a dog can't play basketball.
That is
my
true.
bad.
Listen,
that's right.
I have to say, it's only fair that he gets back at me by pretending to be me and Praise Bob, because He did not make the CSM meeting this week because he had work stuff. So I just pretended like every 5 minutes put up something else that he hated. Wait, you guys aren't going to change anything about Paladins? It's great. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And that's the biggest blue loot nerf I've ever heard in my life. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Thank you guys. And he got very upset with me. So.
I was sitting in a meeting with a couple of our directors, and our CEO was there, and our VP of sales. And I'm like trying to keep a straight face. I keep getting notifications on my phone. And I look down at one point, and Brisc is like, "Oh man, they're not going to do anything to Marauders. This is great." I'm sitting here sweating,
losing it.
But who knows? Maybe it was a meme. Maybe it's real. You'll never know. We'll never tell.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
on the nullsec side, we'll talk a little bit about E stuff, but I'll be bluntly honest. The rest of this show is all going to be outside the game meta, and it's because we had a lot of shit happen this week. And the last 2 weeks since we had our break when I was on vacation, that was outside the meta, but it's stuff we got to talk about. So, and not all of it is good. So just, hopefully you guys are sitting here. I have my adult beverage. We will be doing a toast here later to one of our fallen comrades, but I wanted to talk a little bit about other stuff that was going on. But hey, I got to update you guys on what's going on in the War in the North. What is going on in the War in the North? Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. It's
nothing going on.
This has been another one of these wars where it's like, you get to the point where at some point where it just feels like everybody is just staring at each other. And Mifune actually said something before we started the show that I thought was pretty funny. It sounded like this war is less Imperium and B2 versus FRT and PanFam as it is Asher versus Gobbins. But in the end, or at least as of right now, the only thing that's been happening has been structure stuff. So over the last 2 weeks, what we have seen is in the North, Imperium has slowly but surely been chipping away at everything we possibly could. Same with B2 as well. And when I say Imperium B2, I kind of mean the same thing. So don't get upset if I don't mention B2. If it's just while I'm talking,
the coalition. The coalition.
So the good guys versus the bad guys. The good guys have been slowly chipping away at the bad guys. The result has been we have anchored 2 Fortizars off of the X-47 Keepstar. That is the last Keepstar in the North in B2 space. That is the goal. One of the goals is to blow that thing up. We're trying to get it ready so we can do that. We got 2 forts off of it. At this point, those fights were generally uncontested. There were some fighting, but then in the end, we were able to outnumber FRT a couple times, and the result was both of those forts online, and now they're ready to go. I expect that we're going to be hitting, I think the X-47 armor timer, as Mifune mentioned in the joke part of the show, is on Tuesday. So that's going to be another one of these big fights where we're kind of stuck there at downtime and hoping that we can get a fight out that day. The only other stuff that's been happening, it's funny, I was talking to Darkshines about this yesterday. He had characterized the war as being kind of a gentleman's agreement or a gentleman's war prior to about a week and a half ago. And what he meant by that was everybody was sticking to Fade and Pureblind and Declan. That's where we were fighting. We were hitting infrastructure there. We were fighting fleet fights there. We were attacking stuff there. And nobody was going after anybody's stuff in the backfields. Well, that kind of stopped about a week and a half ago when Horde and others started hitting Athenors and other stuff in Delve and started killing them and trying to hit folks in the backfields on the Imperium side. And then the result was, obviously, if they do that to us, then we're going to do that to them. And we were up in Spire yesterday. We killed an Athenor. We've been reffing a bunch of stuff. And there have been some Sov fights up in the North. But that's it. It's been really kind of quiet. We haven't had any of these big 6,000 people fights like we had the first week of the war. Now, I assume, and maybe that means I'm going to make an ass of you and me, but I'm assuming that Tuesday's fight is going to be a pretty big fight. And if it is, then hey, we'll have something to talk about next meta show. But in the meantime, right now the lines still look about the same. There hasn't been a lot of Sov changing up in Fade and Pureblind. There hasn't been a lot of anything other than a lot of fleet fights. There's a lot of gate camping. There's a lot of random little stuff. And then, of course, we're hitting stuff in their regions. They're hitting stuff in our regions. But in the end, we're kind of at this point where everybody's waiting for the next big thing. What's it going to happen? We'll find out. So Tuesday is the armor timer on the Keepstar. I think that'll be the next big fight. If Imperium and B2 manage to successfully kill or at least get to the hull timer. I think that's a game changer. That's gonna kind of try change the way that the rest of the war is going to go. Because at that point, I think we have to figure out, okay, we did this. We cleared out what we said we were going to clear out. What do we do now? Do we go home? Do we stay here? Do we keep helping B2? Or do we push into parts of areas that are controlled by FRT? I don't know. We shall find out. That will be something that happens. Anyway, so that's the rest of the Eve news. There's not a whole hell of a lot of other Eve news. Now,
Yeah.
other things that happened that we absolutely have to talk about. First of all, CCP did their April Fool's joke today. If you haven't seen it, I'll throw it up on the screen.
Pretty good. It's pretty
It's
good
not
joke.
bad. It's not a bad joke. And I forgot to put Mark here, so I need to grab him.
It's all right. It's okay. I understand how it goes.
This is what happens when I'm not thinking about using all of the screens that we have. So I will grab Mark right here. There he is. Boom.
Yeah, this has
There's
got
the
to
two
be a
of us.
wormhole thing. Extremely valuable gas clouds. You know, this is clearly
Valuable
this is-
gas clouds. Copium. Fullerite copium is what they called it. It's pretty funny. But that was on the front page of our lovely e-forums here. Extremely valuable gas. Fullerite copium. I mean, look at that. That's just so cute. It's so cute. They did it. It's so cute.
Is it the? Hang on. Can you zoom in
Copium.
on that at all? That little image.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about something about that. No, just like, can you like actually zoom? Like hit Control Space on your browser here, real quick, Brisc.
Yes. That is exactly what you think it is. That is a Pepe
Is
the
that
Frog.
the Pepe?
That is a Pepe the
Copium
Frog
Pepe emoji
cloud. Right there. It's a Pepe cloud.
Oh, I saw a lot of people on Reddit bitching that it wasn't a more involved April Fool's joke. And those people need to huff gas. Honestly, that's such a bad, like, just go outside and like breathe some free air is what I mean.
I mean, not
like,
everybody could have their support staff redo all of the stuff on the show and then get Mifune to come in and do the show for them. Like, I mean, not everybody could do that.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
So
It's a high bar.
that was that.
It's very good.
Anyway, so that was their joke today. I thought that was pretty funny. What was not a joke? As much as people wanted it to be a joke, what was not a joke?
Yeah.
Was this. CCP Games has secured $40 million led by Andreessen Horowitz for an innovative new AAA game. Now, what does this mean? Well, here's the press release. CCP Games announced today that $40 million in financing has been secured from external partners. This financing will allow CCP to build upon the discoveries of its research and development team to enable the full-scale development of a new AAA title utilizing blockchain technology set within the EVE universe.
Yep. That's where that's at. Yeah. That's
That just happened. Now,
Yeah.
I will remind you, 1 year ago, almost to, well, not to the month, April the 11th, 10 days from now, was the announcement made, Blockchain and EVE Online, in which Hilmar, who wrote the article, you can see it says CCP Hilmar right here. That is Hilmar's name. That's his CCP name. Said flat out, there's been a lot of speculation around blockchain technology, NFTs, and cryptocurrency and what that means for the future of EVE. So I wanted to address it. He says, we have no plans to add blockchain technology into EVE Online's global server tranquility for the foreseeable future. For the coming years, development for TQ will focus on building exciting new opportunities on top of the robust foundation that's been laid over the past 2 decades. And he says, while we remain intrigued by the technology, for us, NFT stands for not for tranquility. This was also made in a big announcement at FanFest, a huge deal announcement at FanFest. And it was met by cheering in the crowds. I was there. People were very pleased that there would be no NFTs in EVE. There was a concern about that. And now we know why. Because they're going to make a new game.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what else did they say? So they said, Hilmar says, since its inception, CCP Games' vision has been to create virtual worlds more meaningful than real life. Now, with advancements made with blockchain, we can forge a new universe deeply imbued with our expertise in player agency and autonomy, empowering players to engage in new ways. This financing has marked an exciting frontier in our studio history as we begin our third decade of virtual world operations. We are humbled by the confidence from our partners in the development of this new title. With key gaming systems developed on-chain, this project will leverage smart contract blockchain technology, focusing on persistence, composability, and truly open third-party development to create a new relationship between virtual worlds and players. All right, and then it goes through who the folks are that are the partners, A617, and then Andreessen Horowitz, A617Z, and then talking about the other folks that are about this and what they're doing. Now,
Yeah.
everybody has been asking me, what do you think about this, Brisc? And I know they've been asking Mark, what do you think about this, Mark?
Oh,
and we weren't
You
here.
too, I was going to say, yeah.
We weren't here. Now, we had long conversations, and I've been talking to folks at CCP about this for a while. I think we all were kind of aware that this was going to be a thing. If you read the blockchain in EVE Online, I mean, I will go back here, and I think when this came out, everybody took apart what Hilmar said in this. Okay. And one of the things he said was, we have no plans to add blockchain technology into EVE's for the foreseeable future. For the foreseeable future was a key thing. And I remember Dirk Statiel yelling at me about the fact that it said, he didn't say never, he said for the foreseeable future. So that means it's possible that they might do this. And then there was, of course, and let me pull this part up. We remain intrigued by the technology. That was another thing that folks were they were all, what? Intrigued by the technology, while everybody else around the world was freaking out and saying, no, don't do this. We don't like this. They were still intrigued by the technology. Now, what does this mean for EVE?
Well,
nothing.
Hopefully nothing.
Nothing. I mean, as far as I can tell,
nothing.
it means nothing. And here's why.
Yeah.
So I give CCP credit for not introducing anything into EVE NFT wise. After the Alliance tournament thing, it was pretty damn clear that the players do not want anything related to blockchain, NFTs, or cryptocurrency in EVE Online. And so far, so good, the company has not done that. And let's hope they continue with that, because to introduce something like that in a 20-year-old plus game is not okay.
Yeah.
So what I think they did was they said, all right, well, we heard you guys. You know, we heard you guys. You don't want NFTs or blockchain or crypto in EVE. So we're going to make a new game. But I think the next thing that we would have said to them is, yeah, but don't use EVE money to do it. Because what have we seen from the company in the past? You know, you had World of Darkness and a bunch of these other games that have been sort of CCP's tilting at a windmill, trying to come up with another game besides EVE that lasts more than 5 years. You know, Dust was a great game. It had its problems. It's gone now. EVE Valkyrie, great game. It had its problems. It's gone now. Project Nova, or whatever the new first-person shooter. They've been trying to do a first-person shooter for years to replace Dust. And it's still out there. We haven't seen any real public updates on that in a long time. So what's the result? They're still chasing their second game, like their second hit game. And I think that's going to be the case, that all of these game companies are desperate. They can't afford to sit on one IP, or at least if they have one IP, they can't afford to sit on one game. They want more than one game. So what are they going to do? Well, they're going to do whatever they can to come up with another game. And I feel like that's what they're doing with this blockchain thing. And I mean, I have a lot of concerns, and I've told them my concerns. Not the least of which is, you create a game like EVE and you see the damage that real money trading has done in EVE Online, and it's illegal. Like, you're not allowed to do it. that didn't stop everybody. And if you read Empires of Eve, you'll read stories about, folks out there who were selling stuff in real life and making tons of money in real life, and apartments and cars and all kinds of stuff from RMT that they would not have been able to do with EVE Online. And it sounds to me like this next game, one of the core tenets of it is going to be, well, it's blockchain, so you're going to have the ability to do things like play to earn, where you can actually make money in the game, like real life. And RMT is okay, because that's kind of part of what's fundamental about like the blockchain stuff, is the ability to say, well, you own this. And then if you own it, well, you can alienate it. It's property. You can trade it. You can sell it, and it's okay. That seems to be fundamental to these types of games, or at least that idea is you're taking your game time and you're generating it into something that you can trade, that you have ownership in, which is not true in EVE. Everything we do in EVE belongs to CCP. But it sounds to me like, at least the way that this is written, where they're talking about key game systems developed on the chain that's going to focus on persistence, composability, and truly open third-party development to create a new relationship between virtual worlds and players. That, to me, says we're going to make it so you can make money in this game in real life. And that, I think, scares me in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I mean, oh boy, there are so many different levels of this that are troublesome, right? Aside from the fact that what you've done is you've taken and actually we talked about this on Rampage earlier this week, or was it Rampage?
It was on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was
Rampage on Tuesday.
On Rampage. We were there with Innominate, and Nam had a really good point, which is what this does is it opens up CCP or opens up this new thing that they're working on to be exploited by people who are effectively using it as either a second job or as a way to exploit other people to make money, right? We've seen what some of these kind of digital sweatshops look like. Everybody has seen pictures and videos out of these places, a lot of them in underdeveloped countries that don't have good labor laws or good support systems for people in those situations, and games that come out who either don't crack down as hard on real money trading, or games that don't, or games that actively encourage real money trading, or some variation thereof. You have long lines of people who are just grinding day in and day out in order to flip a profit for whoever the boss is.
Right.
So
the gold farmers in WoW. I mean, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, anybody that played WoW in the 2000, like from beta through like 2006 or 7, that was gold farming central. That was when you could get away with it, and most of the time you weren't going to get caught. Nowadays it's different, and plus they have their own version of Plex in WoW now that you can trade, and that's like legitimate real money trading. But the gold farmers were everywhere, and you could see where they were. And in a game like that, you can't really fuck with them because they're in like newbie areas farming the same crap over and over again, and they destroy the market for stuff in the game. And at the same time, they're making a ton of money, and it's all going into the hands of some, whoever it is. You don't know. And I think to Parter's point in the chat, which is spot on, it raises the question: how do you regulate this shit to make sure criminal activity isn't conducted through it? And that's another question. That's another thing. You don't want to turn your video game into a siphon for money laundering, right? You don't want this to be a thing where people are trading bad things they're not supposed to be trading through your game. And how do you police that? Like, so now look, I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna scream and yell, because to be bluntly honest, I have no problems with CCP trying to develop another game. There's nothing wrong with that. That they are a company. As much as we would like them to spend all of their resources and all of their time and all of their energy just on EVE, I know that it's more likely to benefit the game in the long run if they have more than one working title that's generating revenue for them. So if they can come up with something that's new, that's a niche thing that can generate some money for them, I'm okay with it. And as long as they're not using EVE assets, they're not using, and by assets I mean like they're not taking money out of what was, like, if I'm paying $100 a
fees.
year for Eve to play Eve. I want that $100 to go to the company to be put back into Eve. I don't want it going to the company to be put into some other random game. You know, so at the end of the day, as long as they're not doing that stuff, then I'm okay with it. But if they are in the process of deciding they're going to take this new game and then they're going to they got this $40 million of outside money. Oh, that's not enough. We need to grab money from Eve. Then I'm going to have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But at the very least, hey, this is $40 million. It's $40 million. It is not our money. It is not anybody's money but the investors. What the investors get out of it, I don't know. And we didn't get any more detail as to how this is going to work and whether they're going to have, you know, shares of the company or they're going to have some editorial say. My gut tells me no, but we don't know from anything beyond that press release what's in there. But at least it says, I mean, flat out, this is a new game. This is going to be a new game. So in the end, I'm ready to wait and sit back and be like, hey, you know what? Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
If the game sucks, then it sucks. And then we can complain about that. If the game is good, then I think a lot of this stuff will probably be forgiven, but we'll find out. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to figuring out if there is any kind of desire in this community for anything remotely like this. And there may be. I don't know. I think that there probably is going to be some folks out there who are like, you know what? I played this game enough. It would be nice if I made some money off of it. The only people that can make money playing Eve are the streamers. So, hey, if I can play a game that's set in the Eve universe where I can, you know, maybe make some money, that's great. But my big concern then is, and I've said this to folks directly, is, okay, well, you know, you set this up so that people can make money playing your game. There's this play to earn model and everything is fine. What happens when, you know, you kill that guy's ship in space and that means his family doesn't eat for a month because he put all of his money into that was his livelihood.
Yeah. Or
Like,
you blow up his hauler full of, you know, ISK tokens or whatever.
right.
Like people have done, okay, so people have done stupid shit in EVE Online, the game that we play now, in the past, over perceived slights, right? Like there have always been instances where people have either been doxxed or people have been sent stuff or, you know, people have been threatened. Like these are not uncommon things. The history of the game is filled with stuff like this. And thankfully, to our knowledge, nobody has been seriously hurt before. But, well, depending on the
Mark, roll with it for a second. I'll be right back.
You're fine. All of these things are still isolated in the game that, again, where real money trading is illegal, right? So add on to that system this idea that suddenly now not just are your assets, your structures, whatever you own in space, tied to your I don't know, tied to your ego, I guess, tied to your sense of video game Bushido. Now they're tied to your wallet. And they're tied to the money that you put in, you know, on your table, the roof over your head, the, you know, what you want to do. I mean, imagine you lose some, you know, you die in game. Oh man, spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. More than I could have ever asked for.
There you go. This is the official Mark Resurrectus copy. That's
so good.
Bathrobe. Much better than the janky ass one I was wearing before. So thank you, Amazon, for, as always, delivering shit in the
very good
in the middle of the show. So Redline was like, wait a minute, you get paid to stream? No, nobody on INN is making any money. As far as I know, everything we generate on INN gets pushed back into the stream. Other streamers make money. Rushlock makes a ton of money. He's the only one I know that makes money. But a lot of folks, you know, you can make money playing Eve. You're streaming, you're doing all this stuff, you're getting bits and you're getting all kinds of stuff and you're making money. So some people do make money doing that, and that's it. My one makes a ton of money. You know, my one was one of the top streamers in all of Twitch. You know, he makes a ton of money. So the whole thing is, at some point, if you know, why is it okay for those guys to make money where regular people just playing the game can't, you know? So that's it. Robbie says, I thought Mittens made $100K a year from it. I don't know about that. My understanding was that he always made his money from family stuff.
There's some
So-
okay. So there's some rando in here. Mepa says, Brisc, what do you do today when you kill some unmentioned alliance player crabbing and he doesn't meet his quota for income and can't feed his family for the next week? Do you weep? Well,
I mean, that's what I'm worried about in this new game. You know.
Yeah, that is the problem, because he then goes on to say, I got one more question. What you do when kill the shiny ship someone plexed and couldn't afford and was trying to negotiate on how to return? Well, currently in EVE Online, once you've bought it, it has no more value to you. It only has spaceship internet game value, right? Whereas in, we don't know this for sure. We're just speculating, right? We don't understand how the economic system in this game is going to work. We could be way off base. Who knows? But given how other platforms have performed in the past, you would be able to then sell that ship back to somebody and make some actual real life money on that ship. And that is a problem, because then when you have these ships that cost, thousands of in-game, because of rarity or, whatever, hundreds or thousands of real life dollars. And then, that now is something that you can recoup if you want to. If you then lose it, or it dies, or is sold or stolen from you, then you're shit out of luck.
Right.
And people are going to freak out about this. Like, there's just no two ways about it.
And that's the bottom line. Like, that's the thing, in this game, if somebody spends money on flex that they can't afford, and that means they can't feed their families, that's on them. That is their fault. Okay. They should know better. You put money into this game, you're never getting the money back out, period. Unless you're going to break the rules. And then if you break the rules, you're taking the chance that you're going to lose everything that you put the time in. So in the event that you do that, full well you're breaking the rules. It's not okay. Now, what happens when it is okay? What happens when it's part of the game, when it's advertised? Hey, play this game. You can make real money playing this game. And people do that. And somebody does really well. And he's like, hey man, I can make a career of doing this. And he quits his job and he goes home and he plays this new blockchain game all day long and makes all this money. And then boom, some mean, nasty wormholer comes out of nowhere and blows all of his shit up. And then boom, he's on the street again. And he's lost his way of life and his income. If we, and I mean, and I'm not saying that, oh, boo-hoo, that's so sad. I'm saying that you see the toxic behavior that we see from players now with death threats and all other kinds of stuff when it's just pixels. Throw on, what do you think somebody's going to do if that turns into, you're fucking with my real life now? Right? So
somebody
just
else,
saying.
I want to get ahead of this too, because that Kane brings up an interesting point. It says, are we not just speculating now? I want to see actual details before I can have an opinion.
And I agree with that 100%, Mark. And that's why I'm not condemning anything. I'm not screaming or yelling. We're not saying this is horrible or bad or don't do it. I'm fine with the company doing it. But all this was a press release with an announcement of funding. That's it.
The only information that we have to go off. Yeah, the only information we have to go off right now is examples from the past, right? So we have seen how other systems have worked in other games using similar technology. Those systems have huge flaws, and a lot of those games have failed, and a lot of those games have been rug pulls. Like, that is just how that has worked. If CCP gets it right, then as far as I know, they will maybe have been the first. Not to say they can't do it. They have a lot of smart people over there.
Yep. But
they would have been the first, I think.
All right.
Unless there's some really successful blockchain game that I just don't know anything about, that has, self-sustained over time and hasn't been a way for the ownership group to, suck money out of people who are, willing to bet the house on new technology. Somebody else said something else too. Hang on a second.
Mepa said that that's not changing how it is. That's how it is now. I'm like, but it's not how it is now, because
it's not how it is now.
I mean, you can spend money that you don't have, and that's fine. But it's you're not supposed to.
You can't get it back.
Don't do that. You're not. There's no way to, like, if you spend money on EVE, you're spending money on EVE, and it's like you took a pile of cash and you put it in the backyard and you burned it up. It's gone. It's gone.
Right.
It's internet spaceship money now, and you can't get it back. It's not like you put it in a bank account. But if the whole idea behind this blockchain thing is that you can earn stuff on the and the stuff is put on the blockchain and you have it, and then you can sell it and you can make money by doing things like that. That brings in a whole different thing because it's legal. It's okay. It's not only legal, it's expected. It's going to be encouraged. I'm sure that's part of what's going to be one of the things they're going to say is why this game is cool is, hey, you can make real life money playing this game. It's play to earn, right? And if they do that, that's going to change the dynamics in a lot of different ways. But last words on this, and we got to move on. We got 2 more things to cover before the end of the show, and we're running out of time.
Oh, we are. Jesus. We spent a lot of time in the mirror universe with Mifune.
Right. Exactly. Guys, I'm sorry. It was a good joke. I know we trolled the hell out of you people, but you deserved it. Just saying.
Made even better by the fact that we couldn't get the muting right.
Correct. That also didn't help that I couldn't figure out the damn audio when we came back. That was bad. The audio in the beginning was part of the joke, but this other audio was not. All right. So we have a little bit of sad news we want to talk about today. I'm going to throw this up on the screen right now, and this is just from the other night. Hateless Gaming, I don't know if you guys know him, but Hateless Gaming was one of the most prolific of all the YouTube Eve streamers. He was also on Twitch, had been around a long time, great guy, did a ton for the game. I remember here, this is his YouTube page. You can see he's got a ton of content, all kinds of stuff, trying to help people learn how to play Eve, all different stuff throughout his career, making these great videos. I remember he had me on the show. Here is me and him talking right after we put out the big open letter to CCP saying don't sell ships. He actually was on the side of, hey, maybe this isn't a bad thing if it helps get new players. It helps new players out. Big new player guy. Hit by a drunk driver and passed away on his motorcycle last Tuesday. I was devastated. I think the whole rest of the game was devastated. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, we've had people die in a variety of ways. This kind of hit me probably the hardest since, trying to pull the, here's some shots from the Malia Monument where folks were out, doing sign-out vigils and stuff for him. I couldn't believe it. Like it was as bad as when Vile Rat passed away. Like nobody saw this coming. It was a huge thing. He was loved by many, 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 many people in the game. And it breaks my heart every single time we have Eve players who pass away, especially those that pass away when nobody's expecting it. I lost my friend Scott last year. We talked about him on Rampage. We talked about him on the Meta Show as well. We did a memorial Meta Show for him. Losing Hateless this week was completely sudden, completely out of the blue. And I think for everybody in the community, losing a Capsuleer is a big deal. Losing a Capsuleer way before their time to something as heinous as drunk driving is just not okay. And I think we're all going to miss him very much. So if you're out there right now, raise a libation. And let's give it up for our boy Hateless, who passed away way too early last week. There is a sign-out vigil tomorrow. It will be April 2nd at 2200 Eve. That is in 1 hour from now, so 6 p.m. Eastern time, but 2200 Eve. There are 2 of them. There's one going to be in the system of Geras, 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 and then MJ TAC 5F9. We have confirmation from everybody in Horde and folks that everybody's welcome. So don't worry about getting blown up on the way there. And let's send our boy Hateless off in the usual Eve style. Did you know Hateless at all, Mark? Did you ever met him?
I did not.
Okay.
But I have been watching a lot of Hateless videos over the last couple of days. I had one of the guys in my group was pretty beat up about it afterwards, after he found out. And he said that one of the ways that he got back into Eve after being gone for a long time was by watching Hateless's videos. And one of the things I talked about a little bit on Rampage, and I mean,
we found out
both
about
talked
it live
this.
on the stream that night.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. It had happened earlier that day, apparently.
We one of the things that you kind of have to come to terms with as you get older, I think, is that, you know, we're all on, everybody's a ticking clock, right? Like, you don't know what it's going to be. You know, everybody's got a limit that they're going to come up against, and then that's going to be it. And you can't live your life thinking about it constantly, because it'll fuck you up pretty good. But, you know, when stuff like this happens, I think it's just a good chance for us all to have a moment where we really kind of, you know, take a step back and remember that, you know, there are only so many of us here. You know, a lot of us have been playing this game for a long time, have seen people come and go, you know, and I made the joke on Tuesday that everybody who leaves Eve, you know, there's always the meme about, well, they'll come back, you know, you can't win Eve forever. And, you know, so when people, you know, leave and go off and do other things, you just assume like, oh yeah, we'll see them again someday. And it's really, really hard for anybody to know that, you know, one of our people, undocked for the last time and didn't realize it. So it's not fair, and it's not okay. But I think what has, you know, been encouraging out of all of this has been how warm the reception has been. And just, you know, again, I didn't know this guy, don't know anything about him. You know, I've watched some of his videos. A warm personality, was considerate, was friendly, maybe too friendly for a game like EVE Online. But, you know, I think that somebody like that would be really happy to know that the community.
Yeah. That we are here and we are watching and we are listening and we're upset. It's just, it's never a good thing to lose a member of the community, especially in a way like this, you know.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
No, it's a shame. I'm just, you know, I think, and it's tough for everybody in this regard. And, you know, I knew Hateless, and he was a big streamer, a big YouTuber, one of the best ambassadors for the game out there. And we don't have him anymore, and it sucks. So anyway, again, I put the link in the chat. Jeras and MJ Tech 5F9 2200 tomorrow. Sino vigils in both places. I'm going to try to get out and do that. Hopefully you will join us, and we will see you, and we will hand off our one last thing for Hateless as we send him across the bar, as we would say in the Merchant Marine. Now,
that's right.
One last kind of cute, funny thing as we're ending the show on such a somber note. Today is April Fool's, but this actually did happen, which is funny. I don't know if you guys watch this. It's a pretty big gaming stream. It's called Gameranx. 7.53 million subscribers on YouTube. I had random people sending me this.
This is
saying,
so
oh my God, did you see this?
Incredible.
So they did a stream of the 10 unluckiest gamers of all time. And guess who was number 5?
This is a weird one. There's always weird stories to come out of EVE Online, and this one is pretty wild. So in EVE Online, it's such a deep, complex game with tons of people playing and basically living out a double life in it, to the point where there are entire economies and organizations and different groups within it, including a council of in-game politicians. Now, you have to lobby to become elected as one of these politicians in this game, and believe it or not, one of the people to get elected was a real-life lobbyist. A person who works in Washington, D.C. as a lobbyist and a practicing lawyer happened to be an EVE enthusiast and actually lobbied for the gig within the EVE world by saying, hey, look, I'm a real world politician and lawyer. I have experience in the real world. I can bring it over to the game. I'm not necessarily super famous online or a big Redditor, but I play the game and this is what I have. And believe it or not, he got elected, but EVE Online's developer CCP Games actually permanently banned him, which after such a big political win, that's pretty unlucky if you ask me, accusing him of violating non-disclosure agreements in order to get an edge in the game on the in-game finances and stuff. It's complicated if you're not an EVE player, but it was kind of a messy thing, and there might be more to this story than we know as laymen, but CCP Games did end up conducting an investigation and finding that they were wrong, they apologized, and they reinstated his account. Before this all went down, before his ban was rescinded, I guess it's unlucky for a lot of people involved because this political role in the EVE world actually acts as an intermediary between the players and the actual company and the developers. Still, it's pretty wild. There's always crazy stuff to come out of EVE. We can make a whole video on that in itself, but we have to move on.
That was incredible. I have two takeaways from that real quick, Brisc, if you don't mind.
Yeah, number 5, most unlucky player of all time. It's me. It's me, Brisky Poo.
Takeaway is that the beard was a great idea.
Yeah, wasn't it? Right? Yeah.
Such a good idea. And number 2, I didn't realize, I just from watching some of those old videos of you as a pro gamer, I didn't realize how elite you were. That's some real pro gamer action in those clips.
I was super elite. I was like farming and shit, and I had a super out and stuff, and it was great.
Magnificent.
Yeah, Karkov is correct. Me without a beard is kind of Lindsey Graham, although I'm way taller than him.
That is true. That's true. You're almost as tall as I am.
I am,
crazy.
and it's funny because when I see him in real life and we stand next to each other, it's like, like that. So
yeah,
it's pretty funny. But anyway, all right, that is, gentlemen. I have to turn the volume back up because I changed it because of that thing was way too loud. So let me put the volume back up. There we go. All right. So, gentlemen, ladies, everyone who's watching the show, thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Meta Show for April the 1st, 2023. Yes, it was April Fool's Day. Yes, we taunted you. Yes, Mifune did the first 10 minutes of the stream.
Brisc, you're muted.
You're fucking kidding me. How did I mute myself?
Either that or we're being memed on.
We got to be being memed on. We got to be being memed on.
No, there's no way.
How?
Oh, fuck. Oh, God, we got baited.
You motherfuckers. You sons, you baited us. You sons of bitches.
Damn it. God damn it.
Unbelievable. I'm looking at the thing and I'm seeing it move and I'm like, I know this is not working. God damn it. Well, it's fair. You know what? We got
Incredible.
you. Listen. All right. We earned that for teasing you guys and making you listen to Mifune for 10 minutes. Okay. So I'm sorry. It was a good joke. We thought it was funny. Deal with it.
Was pretty funny.
Anyway, today, April 1st, 2023, April Fool's Day. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Meta Show. We will see you next week. Mark, you stay classy. And the rest of you, you stay classy, New Eden.